apartheid South Africa, your identity wasn't something you chose, it was something assigned to you. You were classified according to race, language, and ancestry. Your category determined everything: where you lived, where you could go, who you could marry. It was systematic exclusion enshrined in laws. Welcome to the Sebcast, where we turn our beloved stories on their heads, look at what history might have overlooked, discover anew, and grow together. This week we continue in Matthew 12:1-8, and I enjoyed Eugene Peterson's translation in the Message so much last week that we'll continue with his translation. One Sabbath, Jesus was strolling with his disciples through a field of ripe grain. Hungry, the disciples were picking and eating grain. Some Pharisees reported them to Jesus. "Your disciples are breaking the Sabbath rules." Jesus said, "Really? Didn't you ever read what David and his companions did when they were hungry? How they entered the sanctuary and ate fresh bread off the altar? Bread that no one but priests was allowed to eat? And didn't you ever read in God's law that priests carrying out their temple duties break Sabbath rules all the time, and it's not held against them?" There is far more at stake here than religion. If you had any idea what this scripture meant, "I prefer a flexible heart to an inflexible ritual," you wouldn't be nitpicking like this. The Son of Man is no lackey to the Sabbath, he's in charge. But amid all that injustice stood a man in a purple robe, with a deep laugh and a hope that wouldn't waver, Archbishop Desmond Tutu. And he said something radical. God's dream is bigger than this. He envisioned a world where identity isn't determined by bloodline or law, but by love. Hold on to that thought, because something surprisingly similar happened 2,000 years ago in a dusty grain field in Judea. In Matthew 12, Jesus is confronted by the Pharisees. His disciples are picking grain on the Sabbath, technically a violation. But it's more than that. For the Pharisees, the Sabbath wasn't just a rule, but a badge of inclusion. If you kept the Sabbath, you belonged. If you broke it, you were questioned. Jesus saw this, and he turned it completely around. He didn't make a legal argument. He didn't dissect the law. He points to something deeper. I prefer mercy over badges. It's a remapping of Israel's identity. The old boundaries, ritual, law, and purity are not erased but redirected. The new center, it is Jesus himself. And in his kingdom, identity is not proven by compliance but revealed through participation. The kingdom, says Jesus, isn't about who gets everything right, it's about who gets invited. The Message translation captures this shift so beautifully. For him, religion isn't a gatekeeper, it's a table. And Jesus, he's not the examiner, he's the host. He doesn't hand out checklists, he hands out bread. In the kingdom, hungry people get food, even on the Sabbath. Outcasts are welcomed, even if it makes the law book uncomfortable. Holiness no longer means separation, it means restoration. And this isn't just a theological theory, it's good news for everyone who has ever felt disqualified by mistakes, by their past, by other people's definitions. Because Jesus isn't just trying to fix religion, he turns it inside out. The last becomes first, the outsiders become honored guests, the overlooked become beloved. This is what happens when the kingdom shows up. It doesn't just change your behavior, it changes where you stand in the story. It reorders everything, even who fits in. Now you're ready for Sunday's message that might shake you by the shoulders. Until then, take care.